Hello, hello, hello. This is your boy Brandon Correia, aka EF Hutton of Entertainment, and we are back with another TV show review. And the show that we will be reviewing today is The Boys, and we got episodes 4 and 5 up today. Now, if you've watched my previous videos on the previous episodes, obviously I'm late with these reviews, but episode and if you see, I haven't dropped an episode 4 video, and I'm combining it with this video because episode 4 I'm going to quickly go over episode 4 and then go into 5. So there wasn't much in episode 4 to kind of react to or really break down. Episode 4, we just saw more progression of the plot and more character development. This episode, we saw it slowed down a lot compared to the last few episodes. Episodes 1 and 2 were really outlandish. I feel like they were doing that to really just kind of remind you that this is The Boys and this is the world that exists for these characters. And episodes 3 kind of dialed it back a bit, but there was a couple outlandish stuff still in there. But then 4 and 5, I noticed that there was a lot of plot driven moments and character driven moments, character dynamics between Huey and Butcher and Starlight, Annie and Huey, Frenchie and Kimiko, Frenchie and his dynamic with Nina, the Russian mob girl that he used to work with, and Butcher. So these last 2 episodes were really heavily in those themes of just character development and plot, heavily plot driven. Episode 4, we see the big thing that happens in episode 4, other than there's one really nice conversation between Butcher and Butcher basically explaining how he's an asshole and how he's not a good leader, but one of the biggest reasons why he picked was because he's a natural born leader. And even though like I'm the one kind of giving the orders, you're here to basically lead and keep the boys together. And it was a really nice moment of not only Butcher lightening up, but paying his homage to his brethren and just showing him how useful and that he appreciates him. It was a nice moment. And again, other than that, there was just more character development, like character driven moments, and we're just seeing arcs and kind of mentalities kind of panning out in certain characters. Like in episode 4, we see Frenchie and Kimiko upset that they're constantly killing, and because in episode 4 they had to do a job that Kimiko had to go and end up killing bare Russian mans to find out so they could get the information that they needed. And it just came to a point where she was like regretting, because there was a bunch of girls in the area where she killed these guys, and they got scared of her. And she was just really regretting that. And even going back to, I think, episode 2, when Crimson Countess murked that man at the theme park, she was like traumatized because she saw the little girl and her brother and just thought back to her and her brother and how traumatized they were. And she's just really falling out of love, not even in love, because she was never in love with it, but she's really just not about this lifestyle anymore. And you're seeing that Frenchie's really not about it, and not about it either, because he stated to Nina from time when Sherry came to him that he is out of this lifestyle. He doesn't do that no more. So you just see characters kind of being more developed and seeing where they're trying to go with like their lives and their character arcs, basically. So these last 2 episodes did a good job of that. The other big thing in episode 4, the reveal, was the boys, obviously, because they did the job for Nina, where they, where Kimiko was killing these mans with the dildos, even though she didn't need to do all that with her super strength. Could have just cracked a couple necks, but it's the boys, so we got to be outlandish. So dildos are going through eyes and mouths and back of heads and thing like that. So obviously it was just like a funny, outlandish part. But the big reveal in episode 4 was obviously the guest star of the show, Supernatural's Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy. In episode 3, we got a flashback of the payback team, which Soldier Boy and Crimson Countess, Gunpowder were a part of. And we see that now. Fast forward to the end of episode 4, and where the boys end up running up on this lab. They end up, which they just think they're going to find like a weapon, but they end up stumbling upon the actual Soldier Boy, and they find out that he's actually alive. It throws them off. And because he hasn't been like awake using like cryo sleep for like a while, as he like stood out, like some of his powers were about to activate, and this guy shot like a massive like laser beam just from his chest, and to save Frenchie, Kimiko pushed him out of the way, and it hit Kimiko. And Kimiko had like a pole going through her, and she wasn't healing. And that's how the episode ends, with the Soldier Boy Jensen Ackles reveals, and he basically just walks off into the night, and the episode ends. So again, that pretty good episode. I didn't do an episode review for it because there wasn't really too much outside of the Jensen Ackles stuff, so I decided to wait to see if there was anything big in episode 5 and see if I could combine it. So moving on to episode 5, again, we just see more progression of the plot, a heavily plot-driven episode. We see that, obviously, like, the boys are back from Russia, and we quickly see that Jensen Ackles' character is back in New York. He's getting used to everything. He's seeing, like, the buildings, the buses. There's a point where, like, he saw, like, the gay people, 2 gay guys, like, kissing, and he did, like, a face. And obviously, like, that's, like, good acting because he was, like, he's from, like, the 30s, or I keep going that far back. I don't know why I keep going that far back, but clearly they were fighting in, like, the 70s or 80s, like the Vietnam War. I don't know why for some reason I keep going back to like World War II for some reason, because I keep thinking like Captain America, because Captain America was obviously fighting like during the World War II times, like them actual times. But I don't think that's not the case, because Crimson Countess is clearly aging, and she obviously wasn't born in like the 30s or not even like the 20s by the time you would fight in World War II, right? So, but yeah, we see Soldier Boy just roaming around town, and he ends up at I don't know, just like some Russian place. And they find out later that he went there on purpose because he has a ledger that he's going through to kind of get his payback, pun intended, from the team that he was part of, but to get some payback on the people that did him wrong. And as he was approaching like a building, he heard music that kind of triggered a trauma response like in him from when he was being tortured in Russia. And like before this point, they were testing how like durable he was. So like they were doing all this different shit to him, like putting radioactive stuff up his ass to like see how like resistant he was. They literally there was a clip of them putting like a AK in his mouth to like see if his internal tissue was like durable, and like obviously like it was also. They were putting like a blowtorch to his neck, like bare shit. So when he heard that music, it triggered him, and he basically set off like his chest beam, like Iron Man. And I don't think he was trying to hit the building, because I think he was going for a particular individual, and he ended up blowing like this hole, like a massive hole in the building, and ended up killing like 19 people. But the boys basically Butcher, Huey, and pull up, and they see like obviously the damage that he did, and that how dangerous he is. And I know before they were looking for a weapon, but it kind of seemed like at this point, or maybe soon after, they came to the conclusion, well, Butcher did anyway, that he was gonna use Soldier Boy to try and kill Homelander. Like maybe he's strong enough. And even just connecting it to the last episode when Kimiko got injured, there's a part in this episode where she's in the hospital and she wakes up and she still has like her wound. She's still hurting, and she's like happy, and she's really happy. And she's happy because she lost her powers. And the episode, I think previous, or I think it was 3. No, sorry. Yeah, I think it was 3. So not 4, not previous, but I think it was 3 where she was having the conversation with Ryan, and they both had that nice moment where they were both like, I don't like my powers. And they kind of connected on that moment. So you see that payoff when she doesn't have her powers. So I'm interested to see if his beam nullifies powers like completely, or if it's just a temporary thing, and then in a little bit she's going to get her powers back, start to heal and all that, right? So moving forward to the part where like he blew up the building, they obviously like saw like how powerful he could be, and they continue to pursue him to try and like, again, obviously at this point, it's not clear that if they're trying to just find out maybe a potential weapon out there that could kill Homelander, or if they want to use him to try and kill Homelander. And they end up going with that option. We find out at the end that after they make a stop at a friend of MM's that used to work at Vought, and I can't remember the actor. I'm blanking. Like, I can't remember the actor that played like the legend in that moment. But they find out that Soldier Boy came to him, the same guy, to get his suit, and that he's looking for Crimson Countess. So the boys end up going to Crimson Countess's like trailer to meet her and to use her as bait. And lo and behold, Soldier Boy shows up, and we see that Butcher drugs because Butcher wants to come up with a plan to work with Soldier Boy to try and kill Homelander, and that he knows that would never go for it because Soldier Boy killed his family. So he ended up drugging him so that he could carry out his plan. And we see Soldier Boy basically go in, see Crimson Countess, find out that she didn't get any money for turning the man in, and that really burned him. Yo, you know what I mean? Them girls so wicked, so wicked, so wicked. Them gal be wicked, be wicked, be wicked. Yeah, I'm telling you, yo. And literally after that, he was like, I loved you. Like, the only thing that kept me going was thinking that you would potentially come and save me one day. And she basically hits the man back with, oh, I never loved you. Like, damn, girl. Like, yo, y'all be wicked. And like, literally there was a scene previously where Maeve did the same thing to talking about Homelander, was like, I loved you. I gave, you know what I mean? Like, I gave everything to you. Like, I really did love you. And she was like, I hated you from the beginning. Literally like what Crimson Countess said. So it's just showing like a nice parallel between Soldier Boy and Homelander. Even though the boys want to use Soldier Boy to try and kill Homelander, they're basically using like just as much of an asshole, basically, from what I'm seeing. And he ends up just letting off a chest blast again and just roasting Crimson Countess and blowing up her whole trailer. And Huey and Annie come back from their discussion, and we see that Butcher already made the pat with Soldier Boy, so they start to walk off. And he's like, Huey, I need you. And Annie's like, don't go. And Huey ends up deciding to go with Butcher because at this point, and he kind of gives like a speech that makes sense, because he's like, I'm not going to leave you here and like just let this situation go while you have to be with Homelander and basically be with him every day while he's just like sick and twisted and losing control. And you could die and he could just kill you at any point. So to Huey, he's like, honestly, like, he's like, you may hate me, but like, and like, even if you like break up with me or leave me, whatever, but if I go and I potentially figure out a way to kill him and save you, then he's like, then I could sleep at night and he'll feel better about himself. And he's like, and I'm like, honestly, like, I hear what he's saying. So, cause he decides to go with Butcher and Soldier Boy, and Annie's just there with a knocked out on the ground. And that's how the episode ends. So again, like I said, not too much outlandish, bombastic, funny things for me to kind of break down and go over for a more, you know what I mean, lively kind of review. But this is a more straightforward review. There was a lot, like I said, a lot of good character moments, character development, and this episode was a very heavy plot-driven episode that necessarily was needed, because I'm late on these episodes. I've been hearing the last few episodes are absolutely crazy. I know episode 6, which is the next episode, is supposed to be Hero-gasm, which is supposed to be absolutely wild. So maybe when that review comes out, there'll be bare foolishness that I'll be just bringing up and bare just randomness and that I'll be referencing and stuff. So I think that's it for this review. I don't really got nothing else to say. The show is amazing. This season is amazing. And I think we needed a little bit of cool off to kind of just take in the show a little bit and not just have the outlandishness at the forefront of our memories, so that when the ending of the show comes, like the 6, maybe the 6, 7, 8. Because again, I've been hearing Hero-gasm episode 6 is the craziest one. So I'm guessing 6, 7, 8 are all kind of crazy. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode. And if you think you'd be interested in content like this, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I got trailer reactions, reviews. I got shorts on entertainment tips and news from all across the industry, from music to sports to movies, all to tech. All that good stuff will be here on the Brandon Correia Network. So, like I said, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.